Good evening, everybody. This is Sweat, and I'm using a Type 88 on a Karkan Rush offensive gameplay that you guys are watching right now. And I'm not really sold on the weapon. I'm going to have to use it a little bit more before I do a Never Have I Ever on that weapon in particular, but that's not what I'm talking about today. On my Facebook, one of my Facebook fans, Colin, requested a video about the Crucible because he is on his way to boot camp not too long from now. And as many of you know, I am a former Marine. I do have occasionally told some Marine Corps boot camp stories, so I'll make sure to leave a link or an annotation or something for those. But he wanted to ask about the Crucible, and the thing is, he is going to San Diego. And of course, I went to boot camp, if you guys didn't know, in Parris Island, South Carolina. And there are two really enormous differences in the two boot camps. The biggest difference is real Marines go to Parris Island, and that's going to be a joke that anybody in the Marine Corps will hear back and forth. Everybody wants to compare the Marines in Parris Island and the Marines from San Diego, from MCRD San Diego, because clearly they're not the same exact thing. There are some things, some major differences, and I think the two biggest differences are the physical demand at San Diego with the mountains or the hills or whatever they are. I don't know. I've never been there, and I can tell you the discipline it takes to stand at attention for hours at a time with pesky, annoying sand fleas that I've described in other videos that are just basically like wasps digging into your skin. So to me, it's I would rather climb up mountains. I would rather climb Mount Everest while it was snowing and I was naked and I was being chased by wolves than sit in just an hour outside with sand fleas digging under my skin. That's just me. That's just personally, like, it's the most annoying feeling, the most annoying sensation ever, and you can't move, you can't scratch. You have to just sit there and let these blood-sucking insects just suck the life right out of you, and it's terrible and it's frustrating. So anyway, way off topic of the Crucible. Those are two differences in the boot camps that we'll be facing. So Colin wanted to know about the Crucible, and for those of you who don't know, the Crucible, if I'm not mistaken, is just a 3-day event. Now, I went to boot camp in 2003, so it's been quite a while since I have been to boot camp, and I don't know if things have changed much. When I went to boot camp, it was a 13-week episode, and that was the only service that's 13 weeks. Now I'm pretty sure a couple of services are 12 or 13 weeks for boot camp. But anyway, the Crucible is where you spend about 3 days. You only get a couple of meals. You have to split those up or ration those out. You get very little sleep. They wake you up. I think they let you go to bed at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and they wake you up at maybe midnight. Everybody gets up, you get packed up, you pack all your bags, and you start on a hike. And you hike for an extremely long distance, several miles anyway. You're pretty much marching all morning. And we did this in September, right as it was. No, we did this in not September. I didn't go to October, November. We did this in November, maybe early December. So it was getting really cold. And then we had to set up defensive perimeter in the grass. And in South Carolina, it was, like I said, it was really cold. There was frost on the ground. It was one of the coldest experiences of my life. I'll have to tell another story about the coldest experience of my life. And then basically you do. It's kind of fun if you look back on it, if you weren't getting yelled at and screamed at the whole time. But that difference is going to be very different for the Marines that go to San Diego, because there are a lot of hills, and I think there's a tradition of climbing one particular hill, and they used to pass out the Eagle Globe and Anchor there. But of course I can't accurately tell you what that is. I didn't go to San Diego, and I'm pretty sure they quit doing it, because I think they quit handing out the Eagle Globe and Anchors until you had completely graduated boot camp, until your family could be there and everything for you. Whereas that was just a ceremony that you had made it. You had climbed the hill, you had completed everything, and I really wish I'd have known, or I'd have done a little bit more research on exactly what that ceremony was, because if I'm not mistaken, they haven't done that for a while. So anyway, that's the Crucible. I think it's a few-day event. You don't get much food, and you do some combat maneuvers. It's very, very stressful. Of course, not eating, not sleeping very much, being outside, of course, still being under control of the drill instructors. You're kind of split up though in most boot camp maneuvers or whatever. You're actually with your entire company. Your platoon will get split up, but then an entire company will do classes and like different like sit-in sessions or martial arts or whatever, you'll do that as an entire company. It's a huge thing, and they teach everybody at the same time. But for the Crucible, they pretty much they would split your platoon up into really large squads, because a platoon really wasn't a platoon. It was 80 people as far as my graduating platoon. But they would split you up, and you would go do like some really neat stuff if you stop to think about it. Combat maneuvers and how to survive in the wilderness and stuff like that. Like it would have been a lot of fun, and it actually was. One of the most interesting times that I had in boot camp. I just wasn't allowed to really, express how happy I was. I believe I may have told a story about that one time. I expressed how happy I was, and drill instructor didn't like it very much. So that's pretty much all I can. That's kind of all I can get in for this video. Don't remember entirely too much on it, and I do know there's a big difference. So. That being said, the best of luck to Colin. I do wish him the best of luck in boot camp. It's going to be a difficult experience, but it's going to be an experience that he will definitely keep with him for the rest of his life. Because I may not have known, or may not be able to recall every minute of boot camp, but I definitely still have all the values that I learned in boot camp, and that's really important to me. So again, Colin asked that on Facebook. I'll have Facebook, Twitter links, and all that kind of stuff in the description of the video. If you guys want videos like that or make requests, I'll try to get to them and look at them. I saw another video for sights and optics I might get to soon. But Colin, best of luck to you. You guys, check these videos out if you haven't seen them yet. Subscribe if you're new here. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it. I really appreciate the support, guys. I'm going on vacation for a couple days with my girlfriend, so hope you guys enjoy and are able to deal without the videos. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon.